Song Talk Radio.
Welcome to Song Talk Radio, the show with songwriters talking to other songwriters about the craft of songwriting. We share tips, tools, and techniques, and together we all become better at writing songs. I'm your host, Neil Modi, and my usual co-host, Phil Emery, is off changing his birthday suit. So, for the rest of you, please send in your comments and questions to @SongTalkRadio on Facebook or Instagram, or feedback@songtalk.ca for the email, and we'll share your thoughts on the show. And please visit songtalk.ca to see the show post for this episode, to find links to resources we mention, and to download lyric and chord sheets to follow along with the songs that we feature. Tonight, we are very happy to welcome singer-songwriter Sunny Zaman. Sunny is a musician whose main passion is songwriting. He's also a singer and guitar and bass player who occasionally dabbles with keyboards and synths. He wrote his first song at the age of 14 and continues to follow his passion many decades later. While he plays mostly rock and pop, he has been occasionally known to push outside these boundaries. Welcome to Song Talk Radio, Sunny.
Thank you.
Great to have you on the show. We met years ago at the Songwriters Meetup, which is now called the Song Talk Meetup. Back then, it was called the Songwriters Cafe. Way back when.
That's right.
And, yeah, we've been chums ever since. And yeah, it's great to finally have you on the show because you just dropped a new album, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Is this your first sort of full-length album, or?
It is.
Maybe.
It was quite the hair-raising experience.
All right, we're going to get into that. Okay, first things first, though, we're going to take a listen to Sunny's new song, Splonk. And remember, the lyric sheet is available on the website, songtalk.ca, so y'all can follow along. Here we go. Very cool track.
Thank you.
Yeah. This in a lot of ways it kind of reminds me of Radiohead in some senses.
Inspiration always.
Yeah. So where are you pulling your inspiration from for your songs? Like where do you who are your favorite?
Honestly, I let it come. Just once a week, I'll sit back, close my eyes, and just try to relax. And if music comes to me, it comes to me. And I've really kind of changed how I actually go at songwriting now. I don't actually touch an instrument until I'm ready to, until I've got lyrics down and I have it arranged in my head. That's when I touch an instrument. I mean, otherwise, I just try to live off my imagination and kind of just string a song together in my head.
So you have the whole thing sort of composed in your head, melodies, lyrics, chords.
That's what I try to go for. Not the lyrics. The lyrics I have to write down, kind of compose separately.
Okay. Yeah,
but the music, yes.
The music part of it. So where are you? Because this is an interesting song to me because I don't want to say a lot of the time, but some of the time with our guests and with other songwriters and stuff, you can tell whether they're kind of really lyric first, music first, or anything, because this has got a lot of music, very small quantity of lyrics, right? And the melody is really, really fascinating the way it ties together with lyric. So I'm just curious, what for this song came first? Like, was it that cool guitar riff? Because that's the thing that really carries the song.
Yes, it was the guitar riff.
Okay.
And I remember one day I was walking to the wine store, I'd done the riff years ago. It never went anywhere. It was a total dead end. I was walking to the wine store, and suddenly this music came to me, and I'd forgotten about the riff, but I had the riff and I had the rest of it kind of just playing forward in my head. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I've got to capture this. And that's kind of how it happened. One day the riff just mushroomed into something else.
So when you say you captured it, like how did you capture it? You just record a little voice memo on your phone?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just sang it in your phone.
And I still forgot it. And then 3 months later, it came back.
Right. And so how did you get to step number 2 then, to develop it into a bona fide song?
So I had it all kind of in my head, ready to go. I wrote out some lyrics I wrote out the lyrics, and then finally I got down and put that guitar lick on. I recorded it down.
So you had 2 separate things. You had a lyric and you had the guitar riff separate, and then you brought them together.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What made you think this lyric would be a good fit with that lick, or was it just kind of let's try it and see what happens?
So the lyrics are kind of about unrequited love.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of emotion that goes into that. And so what I wanted to get out in the song was sort of, different evolution of emotion as you go through it. Starting with the riff, it kind of then goes into something a little softer, gentler, kind of where he's talking to the woman. But then it kind of almost erupts towards the end into violence.
Right. Metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yes.
Everything that's happening in his head.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, because again, like the riff is carrying you through, but then I'm going to call it the chorus because you're kind of opening with the hookiest part of the song.
Right.
And the middle part sounds like a verse, except you've only got one of them.
That's right.
Which is really unusual and super cool, right? But I need to drown in a sea of love and sex and seduction. Like the melody is so interesting in that it flows, but it doesn't really flow with the words. Like it's almost like you came up with that melody first and then kind of attached some lyrics to it, and the stresses kind of fell where they may. The stresses are right. Like there's nothing that's out of, putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable sort of thing. But it's still like the groupings are interesting because it's I need to drown in a sea of love and sex and seduction. That's the end. Like if you were to say it with the pauses that you have in the melody, it's kind of unusual groupings of words, right?
It's I mean I remember this often happens to me on the hook, where I'll have a couple of words in my head so I had the "I need" and I kept kind of mumbling "I need," blah, 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 not knowing what I'd follow it up with. But I had the "I need" as part of kind of the original thing that came to me.
Mm-hmm. So when you have that, it could. I mean, that could potentially go anywhere, right? I need, could be anything. I need a beer. I need, whatever. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So then at some point you decided that it was going to be Unrequited Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So how come only one verse?
That's how the flow came to me.
Really?
Yeah. It just felt natural to the song. Just kind of given how it came to me, it was just like I didn't purposefully construct this song, into now I'm going to have a verse and now I'm going to have a chorus. Mm-hmm. It just is the way I sang it to myself at the time.
Mm-hmm. Is that typical of your songwriting process, that you sort of conceive of something, you, like you say, you construct it in your head, and then you finally get it down on paper and on recording,
absolutely,
or on your instrument. But then is the final song pretty close to that, or do you go through some stages of editing afterwards?
No, I prefer to stay with the original. Because I kind of believe in, magic, fairies, and pixie dust, I think you were saying.
Right.
Those original seeds of inspiration that come to you, I do believe I try as faithfully as I can to carry that forward into the recording.
Right. Right. So there's no tweaking of lyrics going through, that wasn't quite the right word, maybe.
The lyrics are probably where I'm going to do some tweaking.
Okay.
If I do any tweaking.
Right. How much lyrical tweaking there was? So even with lyrics, like you wrote one verse and you said to yourself, that's it. Like that I don't need to say anymore. I'm not saying you do. But I'm just saying, is that how it kind of worked?
That's kind of how it worked. And so I was then, when I was writing the lyrics for this, I had the constraint of I had to pull this off in one chorus and one verse.
Well, where did that constraint come from?
Just the way the song originally came to me. But so the
musical idea.
Yeah, the musical idea, but also the arrangement. I wanted to stay true to the arrangement.
Okay. Yeah, because it's still a 3-minute song. It's still got changes in it. I do wonder how much, like, if you were to sit down, just you and an acoustic guitar, and do this song, would it be as long? Number one, or would it be a condensed version?
I have not done this on an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Probably because it's unplayable on an acoustic guitar. Because what would it be? It would pretty much just be a chorus and a verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've never tried it at an open mic, or?
No, I haven't. This one would be tough to pull off.
Right on. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then even at the end, you don't even repeat both lines of the chorus, as it were, per se. You just do the first line.
Yeah. You're making me realize that this was.
Yeah, it's a weird song in those senses. Don't get me wrong, like, it's a great song. It still flows and it still takes up, a good amount of time. I mean, if it was a 2-minute song too, I probably wouldn't complain, because it's a really cool riff, and that really it really holds the song together and also propels it forward.
Right.
And so totally that guitar riff is what anchors the song, right? But and the verse actually provides a really, really good, strong contrast to it. And then you get back, it's sort of an A-B-A thing, right? Like riff, yeah, like the riff and the chorus are kind of the A, and then the verse kind of sits apart as almost like a bridge, in fact.
Yeah.
because it provides some respite, and then you get back into the thing. But yeah, there are no other songs in your listening repertoire that are kind of structured this way that you can think of.
I mean, subconsciously, I may have picked it up somewhere. I mean, you never know, but nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind. Yeah, because you tend to let stuff sort of steep within you, and then it comes out as it comes out. It's an amalgamation of all your influences.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's what I was getting at the beginning. Like, who are your influences? I know you're a big Who fan.
Well, that little bass part there was so John Entwistle.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, my influences are major influences would be The Who. I'd say Springsteen is a huge one. Although I don't think you hear much Springsteen in here. Radiohead is a big one.
Yeah.
I think beyond that, a lot of Britpop I used to love Britpop. And then kind of in terms of something more recent, or not that recent, but Arcade Fire is a big one for me.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, multiple influences.
Right on. What do you take from Bruce Springsteen? Is it more lyrical content, or is it?
It is more lyrical content, and just the man's sheer passion for what he does.
Right.
So I mean, often my lyrics will be tinged with a bit of darkness, and I'm sure comes from him.
And you always kind of more narrative, like say it as it is. Like this song has got a little bit of both. Like it's pretty clear what it's about, but there's some really interesting imagery. I'm not even going to call it imagery, but just some interesting turns of phrase. I really love the line, "If I became a totally new old man." that's a great little turn of phrase. I really dig that.
Right.
And again, just the way the melody falls in the chorus section, but is that a thing for you? Are you more abstract or more literal with your lyrics?
I prefer to be abstract. I find when I become too literal, it just doesn't it just doesn't have a depth that something more abstract would have. I mean, something more abstract allows people to interpret a song the way they want it. Whereas with something very concrete, I just don't find it works as well.
You find that in your listening as well. You can't. You can't really get into a song if it's too on the nose.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Which is a lot of the. I mean, Radiohead too can be pretty nebulous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
what they're really singing about. So how about the rest of the album? Is this typical of the rest of the album, or is this kind of an outlier in the? This
is an outlier. I think the rest of the album is more typically singer-songwriter and kind of verse chorus or whatever. This was the unusual one.
Right. And what made you want to include it then? If it's just kind of is it the last track, or is it the?
It was actually it's the second to last track. It just felt too much of a punch in the face to end with this one. So it's the second last track, and it leads into a much more gentler ending.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you very deliberate about sequencing your album, even though
I was?
Everyone just listens to singles now, or so they say.
Yeah, I was quite deliberate about sequencing the album. Starting with what I thought was a strong opening, but trying to keep the momentum up, and then kind of just letting it go a little bit until you get into Splunk, where you pick it up. Actually, it picks up before Splunk, but ended up with a sort of gentler note.
And speaking of the title too, the title never occurs in the song. What does Splunk mean? Is that a real word?
Something else? Lost for a name. I thought about I need, but that was just boring.
Yeah.
And I just I just wanted something nonsensical that didn't mean anything.
Okay.
Just because I couldn't think of anything.
I feel like Genesis on their was it Trick of the Tail for the first album where Phil Collins took over lead vocals from Peter Gabriel. They had a song called Splunk. I feel like,
oh, did they?
I think that was a thing. Yeah,
I have to look that up.
Or something very similar. So I have to look it up and send it to you.
I have to look that up.
So it's just a non. It sounds like a splat of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like it evokes to me, it evokes like some kind of a globular thing just kind of flopping on the ground. Bonk. Oh, something you'd see in like the 60s Batman TV show where it's like every time they threw a punch, it's like blam, pow, splong. That sort of thing. Yeah. Very, 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 very intriguing for sure. Yeah. And that doesn't bother you that someone's searching for if someone hears this song on Spotify and then they trying to find it after the fact. It's like, what was that cool song with that cool guitar riff? What was that called? They're never going to search Splunk.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think of it that way. It was just at the time I wasn't even thinking of going on Spotify. It was just kind of little old me recording a song. So
yeah.
I tend to write music for myself first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. And that's all you really can do. I mean, As soon as you start trying to meet the algorithm, then it's just tends to be derivative, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to write music that I would like to listen to.
Yeah. And that's definitely a good place to be. So what's what's the plan for the album then? You got it on, do you have it on all the distribution services and things like that?
So I was going to release it as an album, and then I came across a YouTube video where they totally convinced me not to do so because in this day and age when I'm not exactly known, and really kind of periodic releases of singles will probably churn up more interest than one album that just goes out there and sits there unheard. So I'm slow releasing things. I've got 3 songs up there now, and there's a total of 10. But I've also got some outtakes as well because during the recording of the album, I probably did about 20 songs, and then I narrowed that down to 10. Okay. So with the outtakes and everything, it'll take me the full year to release everything. But in the meantime, I'm going to be getting in touch with playlist owners on Spotify. There's actually on DistroKid, there's a great new service now where they have emails for all these playlists. Oh. So you can email them with a song, which is terrific. So I'm going to try that, see what happens.
Okay, cool. You have to let us know if how that works out.
And then I've got a fairly decent following on SoundCloud. And I'm hoping to just message everybody that follows me and say, I'm on Spotify, would love a follow, and I promise to follow you back.
Right on. Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, because I've noticed that in the years that I've known you, you've built up you get a lot of good response on SoundCloud, like comments all over the place, and and a lot of follows and stuff. How did you manage to do that? Was it just literally just spending time on SoundCloud and participating?
Well, I'm part of an app that's called Repost Exchange.
Okay.
Where you post someone's song and they post yours in return is the idea.
Okay.
And
only on SoundCloud, or does it matter?
Only on SoundCloud.
Okay.
So over time, that's kind of how I've built my following up, and kind of people commenting. So I released a new song day before yesterday, and I noticed it was really amazing. It was within the first couple of hours I had 600 plays.
Wow.
Which I just wish I had that kind of reach on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, I guess SoundCloud's kind of a weird. I feel like only musicians go on SoundCloud.
That's right. It's musicians loving musicians.
Yeah, pretty much. But so with this re-exchange app, you post up your song. You can only post up your song if you share someone else's kind of thing. Is that the way it works?
You can send your song to other people for them to repost, and they may send you songs in return that you can repost.
Oh, okay.
And there's a whole currency system, an internal currency system, not dollars, that it costs money to ask for a repost and et cetera, et cetera. So
you can buy a repost, in other words?
Not really. Someone has to listen to your song and like it.
Okay. Yeah, so the ones that you repost are songs you listen to, but you like. You don't just repost because they asked you to.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So it is kind of a community approach almost.
Yeah. I honestly, I advise your listeners, if they haven't heard of it, to check it out. Repost Exchange.
Repost Exchange. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely have to put a link to that. And that's like an app on your phone, or is that a website?
It's an app on my phone and also online.
Okay, pretty neat. And you say that more than anything else has got you more reach on SoundCloud?
Yes. I mean, I started off probably with, I don't know, 20 odd followers over the years.
Right.
But I've kind of grown that now to 2,000.
Right. Is as a listener, is that where you do a lot of your just casual listening, is on SoundCloud?
SoundCloud and Spotify.
And Spotify.
So I'm still going through 2023's best albums. Just
okay.
What I like.
Right on. Okay. Found anything good there? 2023.
The Lana Del Rey album's amazing.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I tried listening to her a while back, a long time ago, and just, I don't know, something didn't click with me for maybe to give it another try. It is kind of odd especially when people tell you, oh, you'd really like so and so, and then you go and listen to them. It's like, no. A lot of times it is true that you do end up liking it, but some of the time it's just like, no, that wasn't for me.
I love that Olivia Rodrigo song, Vampire.
Yeah, pretty damn hooky, right?
Damn hooky. That's great songwriting.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll definitely put links to that in our show notes about the exchange service, because that's pretty cool. Is that a pay service? You gotta put money.
No, I've managed to use it for free. Haven't paid a penny.
Okay, but there is an option.
There's a paid option for, when you manage multiple artists and what have you.
Oh, okay, but if you're a solo artist, then this the free option is adequate.
Yeah, for me, it's adequate.
Right, does the trick, eh? Okay, yeah, definitely. We'll definitely share that with our listeners. That's a good thing to know, because I mean, I've been on SoundCloud forever. I really stopped using SoundCloud because I ran out of space.
Right.
And I didn't want to upgrade to the pro thing. So then I just started posting all my finished songs on Bandcamp. Are you on Bandcamp?
I am not active at all.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't cracked the code on Bandcamp.
Yeah, I don't know if I cracked a code. I mean, I know I support other artists on Bandcamp, but it's usually didn't hear about them through Bandcamp because I saw them at a show, or they're literally friends of mine, whatever. And then Bandcamp seems to be the last place where you can actually still go and purchase an album and download the MP3s. Right? It's not. You can stream on Bandcamp as well, but it seems to be the only place. Maybe I don't know if Apple Music still does that. If it still allows you to download, or whether it's all just in your streaming account. But, yeah, a lot of different ways to get your stuff out there, for sure. And
Spotify is the next one to conquer for me.
Yeah, what's the challenge with Spotify? Well, like you say, you getting in touch with playlist curators, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which I understand is a pretty tough nut to crack.
I'll be finding out.
Yeah, because because if you can get on one of those playlists, then your plays are going to go up substantially. I think there's a lot of people. I mean, I'll admit I do that too. The daily mix 1, 2, 3, 4. I do hit them every once in a while. Lately, I've been hitting the release radar on Spotify just because I want to know what artists are already following or up to, which is nice because they give you a mix of artists you're already following. Then they'll throw in a few new ones that the algorithm thinks you'll like, which is pretty accurate most of the time.
The algorithm's interesting. I still haven't had an artist kind of recommended to me who I've gone for.
Oh no,
no, hasn't happened yet.
Okay, I remember when I first got on Spotify, I hit like the indie rock thing, the indie rock channel or whatever, and I discovered a lot of new artists just by listening on that. Like when I first hit Spotify. Since then, it's really dropped off as far as discovering new artists. Like really dropped off dramatically after that first year. I don't know what that means, but maybe it's learned what I like and just keeps feeding me more of the same, which is probably what it does. Cool, man. Okay, I think I'm hearing the band in the background there, so that's all the time we have on Song Talk Radio. Special thanks to Sunny Zaman. Where can we send our listeners to hear more of your stuff?
So in the link, I've got a landing page that has Spotify, and my gratitude to you if you give me a follow on Spotify. There's also my SoundCloud and Apple Music link.
Right on. We will link to that stuff from our show page on songtalk.ca, and we want to hear from you. So please send your comments on Facebook or Instagram to @songtalkradio, or send us an email, feedback@songtalk.ca. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube channel for live performance videos and full episodes, and subscribe today to the Song Talk Radio podcast on your favorite podcast provider. You can find links to all the products, books, and web services we mentioned on the show on our resources page on the website. And please join us at our next monthly Song Talk meetup, whether you're in Toronto for our in-person meetups or anywhere in the world for our online meetups. It's free to join on meetup.com and free to attend. Bring a song and a lyric sheet and get constructive feedback from other songwriters. Stop by songtalk.ca for the link. You can follow me at neilmodi.com. And Sunny, what's your favorite social media channel? Where do people find you there?
It would be Instagram.
Yeah. What's your Instagram handle?
I'm on Facebook. Yep.
Yeah. What's your Insta handle?
My Insta handle is, I think it's at Sunny Zaman.
Cool. All right. Sounds great. Be sure to stop by the website, songtalk.ca, to browse past shows and find out how you can be a guest. Thanks for tuning in, and keep on writing.
Thank you.
That's a cut.
The cut? Good.
Awesome. That was great.
All right. It is an unusual song. I just never think about it that way.
Oh, it's super weird, and that's what I like about it. But it's still groovy. It's still catchy, like it still grabs you. Like I've listened to it a few times since you sent it along, and of course I listened to your album when you.
Oh, did you?
Whatever. Yeah, I think I hit it after you first sent it to me. I did listen to it a couple of days, and yeah, really, really great stuff.
Thank you.
The drums are sounding so much better than they used to.
Oh my God, my mixing has come a long way.
And your mixing has come a long way since
I just put out for the first time since the album. I put out something new. Did for yesterday.
A new what?
A new song.
Oh, yesterday you put a new song?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's all pop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of just looking at the ideas I've got. It's going to be more poppy going forward for a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You're not using like a virtual drummer thing, are you? Or are you?
Yes.
Bandit box or
Jamsticks.
Jamsticks. Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's honestly, once you learn how to use it, it's a freaking terrific VST.
Right.
talks to BFD with seamlessly, and they're great together.
Oh, okay. So it just generates MIDI and sends it to your whatever instrument you want.
Exactly.
Nifty.
And it's programmed like a real drummer, programmed to think like a real drummer.
And it listens to your song.
You can get it to listen to your song, or you can. I actually tend to kind of get it to not listen to my song, but kind of listen to my idea. So I try to compose on it a little bit. So I'll give it a pattern, and then it will take that pattern and play the whole song.
Oh, okay.
Putting in the fills where it wants to, putting in accents where it wants to.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Nifty. Yeah, all these things are going. I mean, drumming was the first one to get a sort of AI thing working behind the scenes on it.
This is not AI. This plugin is now over 10 years old.
Okay.
So it's all, as my son was saying to me when I was describing it to him, he said that's unbelievable. That means they hardwired all the moves that it's making. It's not even as simple an idea as just to execute. It's really, really complicated.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I mean, I've got these pattern-based guitar player things, right? Where you hold down a chord and you hold down key switches, and it plays different patterns with the key switches. These are all Native Instruments plugins, right? And it has some kind of an algorithm in there that stitches them together. They don't claim it's AI. I don't think it is, but you're right. It's just like intensely programmed with like everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It has every. I wouldn't even say it has every conceivable pattern in it. I've already found it can't do some of the stuff that I want it to.
Oh, I'm sure you push it to the end.
Well, I actually ran into a thing with Native Instruments Complete 13 that I found a bug in their guitar plugin.
Oh,
it wasn't key switching when I told it to. No matter what, even they were like, well, put the key switch, a 30-second note before the chord switch and put it after it. And I've tried everything. And finally, they just gave me a license for the next, for the ultimate version of Complete. So I got more plugins that do what I want them to. I got a couple of really good piano plugins in the result of that. But yeah, it's really interesting that they got that. And then I know Logic on the Mac has like a virtual drummer that might be more AI. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Really enjoyed this.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. I'll shoot you a note when it goes live.
Perfect.
You can share it, put it on your. Can't put it on your SoundCloud. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, because it'll be everywhere else.
Can I link it to my artist profile on Spotify?
It is on Spotify. The podcast is on Spotify. So if you can find the episode on Spotify and put it in there somehow. I don't know how that works, but sure.
Okay.
That's interesting because I never did that for my own episodes on my Spotify profile either. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can, but I'll try.
And yeah, I'm not sure if Spotify allows that or if you can just publish stuff that's your own. You can't really share.
All right. Cool, Neil.
All right, Sunny. Good to see you. And yeah, I'll see you on Sunday. All right. Take care, man.
Yes.
Good night. Cheers.